happening, that there's a grouping that wants to mobilize people around a particular tribe. So if you cannot speak that language, then you are deemed a foreign national and you are undocumented.
South Africa is at a crossroad now, my people. You know, beside every country, you will find what we call tribes. Yes, ethnic groups, clans, families, and more of that. Yeah. So it's not just about countries, right? And matter of fact, in Africa, countries were created in 1984. Yes, whether you like it or not, this we see now were created in Berlin in 1984. People sat down in Berlin. Yes, they sat down and say, let's go to Africa and loot them. We need them to become rich. Why am I saying it? Now, the reason why we need to sit down is because we have killed each other so bad because of goods and riches. In the past, yes, the Spanish fighting the British, the Germans fighting the French in a crazy ways. So they came together and say, let's go to Africa and loot them and claim those things for ourselves. So they take the ivory, gold, lithium, cobalt, and all of those stuffs, but without having to kill each other. That's what they were saying. Now, how do they avoid killing each other? They created countries like small bosses. Yes. And when they were doing that, they don't care about whether a family is at the other side, a family member is at the other side. They just there to slide them off. Yes, just slide them off. They don't care about that. And this is how countries were created. Now, what you should know is that at that time, all Africa has tribes and kingdom. Yeah, that's what Africa has, not countries. Now, countries were created and separated and kept together like some enemies. That's what the white did to Africa. That is just by the way. Now, in South Africa, some ministers are speaking out about what is going on in South Africa. The xenophobia attack in South Africa. South Africa is actually a beautiful country. Let's talk about that. No doubt about that. They have many provinces with many provinces. Yes, and each provinces have more than one tribes or one tribes. Yes, that's what they have. Now, this minister we are going to be talking about is from Limpopo, and she has something interesting to say to the people of South Africa. Now, where is she from? They speak Sepedi, Zitunga, and also Chivenda. That's what they speak in where she is from. Now, she is Muvenda. Yes, a lot of people think that South Africans are always Zulus. No, they are not Zulus. They are not always Zulus. Yes, South Africa has many other tribes and groups. Yes. Now, let's listen to what the minister has to say.
And have people willy-nilly deciding to attack others with no basis of the attack, but based on a sentiment, and this is related to the tribal mobilization that is happening.
Do you hear that? A tribal mobilization that is happening. You just listen to her very carefully, then let's analyze it.
That there's a grouping that wants to mobilize people around a particular tribe. So if you cannot speak that language, then you are deemed a foreign national and you're undocumented. You'll recall in one of the videos, there's a vendor guy who they want a passport for, and he tells them, but I am vendor, and so I will not have a passport, I have an ID. And they continued to attack him, to harass him.
Now, you see, people are mobilizing people around a particular tribe. So if you can speak that language, then you are deemed an outsider. You get it? You see what is happening in South Africa? You get it? And also, there is a vendor guy. Why am I talking about vendor guy? A man from the tribe of Bavenda, yes, in Limpopo, yes, who was asked, where is your passport? And he said, no, I'm vendor. I'm not supposed to have a passport. I have my ID, yes. Now, why was he asked, where is your passport? Why is he asked passport? It's because of his look. Well, African people looks Africans, but in some cases, some look light skin and some are dark skin. So South Africans are attacking people because of their look, based on their look. And they continue to torture this guy, yes. While he even told them that I'm vendor, I'm South African, I'm vendor from that tribe. They don't even care. They were just punching this guy, beating him up and down. Yes, that's what they are happening. So they're actually attacking their own brothers too because of these xenophobia attacks. Yes, thinking that he's a foreigner. You get it? Well, let's continue with this woman's speech.
And he was just saved by the community. So that's why we're saying this thing is meant to undermine and destabilize the country. The mobilization against foreign national, it's a ruse that people are using to then want to demobilize society against the genuine concerns of South Africans. The cabinet condemned the opportunistic attempts to hijack the genuine concerns of South Africans about high unemployment and limited economic opportunities by mobilizing South Africans to destabilize the country, including mobilizing attacks on foreign nationals and the tribal mobilization.
Now, doesn't this seems like South Africa is going to destroy themselves internal because they were beating up people based on their color or their look? What their people are being dragged in. Yes, yes. Now, South Africans are being dragged in. Tribes are being dragged into this. And if this continues, we know what can happen. Yes, tribal wars. Yes, ethnic groups war. That's what will happen because you are beating my brother. Why are you beating my brother? You see, then the person have to attack you. Despite you people are South African, but you belong to different tribes. You see, a lot of people think Zulu is only South African. No, it's not that. They have a lot of tribes. Yes. So if you're asking somebody, the person cannot speak your language, you think the person is not South African. How do you know that the person is not South African? How do you know? You don't have any proof. You see, this is crazy. They said they are mobilizing people based on a particular tribe. What tribe can that be? I don't know, but maybe Zulu because you can see people speaking Zulu. If you don't speak Zulu, then they attack you. Yes, but this is getting crazier. Now let's look at this. This is dangerous for South Africa, by the way. Yes. Now you can hear this minister also speaking very loud. That okay, if you finish with Nigerians and Mozambicans, you are going to look for Shanghai. What does it mean by Shanghai? These are groups in South Africa and Mozambique. Based on history, I'm telling you that countries were actually created. They don't even mind whether some brother is there, some brother is there. They just write it off. Yes. So Julius Malema is saying that if they finish kicking out Nigerians and Mozambicans, beating them up, then they will come back for their own people, Shanghai. Yes, which belongs to South Africa and Mozambique. That's what they will do. Let's listen to him.
On Twitter, no, leave this thing. We want you to be president. This thing is going to cause votes. I'm like, you can go with those things for president. I must be a president of thugs, of criminals who beat up people. When you are done with Nigerians, when you are done with Mozambicans and Zimbabweans and Zambians, you are going to go for Shangans from Guyana. I have to stop you now before you come to me.
You see, he also said, if they ask me questions in their language that I'm not able to speak, I can't speak their language, then they what? Sack me to my town, or they are going to deem that I'm outsider. That's what they are going to say because I can't speak their language. That's what they are doing. They are doing what? Mobilizing people based on a particular tribe. What they have forgotten that South Africa has a lot of tribes. What will happen is tribal war.
Some of us can't even talk your language. They are going to ask us to make certain pronouncements in their language, and we can't pronounce back to Limpopo. We are going to be victims. Celebrate and be happy, and say the nonsense you are saying about foreigners and Nigerians. Go on. When they are done, they are coming for you.
I hope you heard him right. This is going to be serious. And if care is not taken, South Africans are going to be put to shame. They are going to be attacking each other for at no cause. Because you have beaten my brother who is from my tribe. And you are fighting my brother. I have to fight you back. That is what is going to happen. Now, let's look at this. Let's look at what a lady has to say about what is currently happening in South Africa. She has also experienced part of it where somebody is telling her that she is not a Zulu. She's not a South African. Well, she looks like a Zulu. She speaks Zulu. But the person is saying that you just understand the language. You are not a Zulu. Why are you lying? Why are you lying? Because she said even at that place, she doesn't have an ID on her. So they can just frame things up. So what is going on is actually crazy. Let's listen to her.
Being a dark-skinned person in South Africa means it's like common. You get told that you don't look South African, right? However, something happened today that really made me like a bit unsettled. Where I'm dressed like this because I'm Mkomboti, right? And then I went to the shop to buy like the sieve. And the lady there, I greet her in Zulu, and I'm like, "Sawubona kunjani?" And she greets back, but like she seems startled, right? And then I'm like, "Ngicela isefo lesi sokuvova umqombothi." And then she looks at me like, and then she goes, "Wazi wangaba nayo intsosha yokuba umZulu?" And I'm like, "No, I'm Zulu." And then we carry on. We find the sieve. She shows me the sieve. I'm like, "Thank you," but like she still looks startled, and I'm like, "What?" And she's like, "Got to Nigerian, Ganje, whatever." And I'm like, "No, I'm just dark skinned." And I carried on my life walking. I don't know if she said something else. I'm not sure if I responded or whatever. And then she's still following me, like sort of staring at me, like trying to figure out like, am I telling the truth, And so I go to the counter to pay, and okay, we pay whatever, and she stands there from like a little bit of a distance staring like investigating sort of, and she's like ayuna manga, and then now I'm getting a bit like unsettled. And also English is my primary language, like I speak English more often, however ngiyakwazi ukukhuluma isiZulu, right? At this point, because I'm startled, I'm speaking English, so I'm like I'm serious. And at that point, like uqhaba nomngane wakhe ufuna umkhombisa ukuthi hayibo, look at this Nigerian masquerading as a Zulu girl. The biggest reason it unsettled me is, first of all, how much she was insisting that I'm not South African. Second of all, her tone when she was saying I'm lying, especially in the way she said unamang. Third reason is the current political climate, where I feel like I know you guys are angry at foreigners for whatever reason or the other, but like more people than foreigners are. And it's not to say that South African lives are more valuable than foreign lives or whatever, but I just feel like be careful. Because like, one, people are not always carrying their IDs. I wasn't carrying my ID. I only had my phone on me. And I'm not sure if there's something on my phone that could identify me as a South African, besides my South African name, which then the person like interrogating me could use the excuse of, because the foreigners use fake names all the time, right? But also, dark-skinned South Africans exist. Like, I feel like I am the most Zulu. You would never look at me and think I'm Tswana. You would never look at me and think I'm Tsonga, I'm Venda. You would never look at me and think I'm Xhosa. I look Zulu. So for there to be people who think otherwise, I'm inclined to believe it's only because of my dark skin. And you know, if that's your metric for what a foreigner is, you are going to be making a lot of people very uncomfortable. And when the time comes where your xenophobia becomes violent, you are going to burn a lot of South Africans. So Ramaphosa, where are the jobs? I feel like if there were jobs, South Africans would be less angry about foreigners, and dark-skinned people would be safe from whatever that was. Where are the jobs? Where are the...
You see, what she's talking about is really dangerous for every South African. Yes, look, that scenario actually happens in Rwanda back then. Rwanda has many three tribes. Yes, they have the Hutus, the Tutsis, and the Twas. That's what they have. This is the Tutsis. These ones are the Hutus, and the Twas. Yes, the Twas are the pygmies. That's what they look. So in 1994, the Tutsis and the Hutus went to war, and before they went to war officially, it was the civilian. It was one of Hutus on the radio saying we must go and finish the Tutsis. We must go and finish them. Yes, and that was very, very bad thing. Very, very bad things happens back then. Yes. Now, how do you recognize a Hutus from a Tutsis? White man actually brought that to separate us. Yes, they actually brought that to separate us. So they were measuring the length of the nose. Yes, the Tutsis supposedly have a long nose like a white man nose, while the Hutus looks like me and you. Yes, that's how the Hutus look like. So according to the white people, yes, that's what they have brought, and that was very dangerous. Yes, and back then many people in Rwanda was unalive. Yes, killed mercilessly because of this kind of attitude, these kind of things. That's what is trying to happen in South Africa. So guys, what do you think? What do you think about what is currently happening in South Africa? And don't you think this xenophobia attacks and tribalism can actually bring a lot of things down in South Africa? Because this will call tribal wars, ethnic group wars. Yes, this would destroy South Africa, because you don't know that person. You see, not everybody in South Africa can speak the Zulu. Not everybody can speak the Muvenda, the Venda, all those. Yes, there are a lot of languages, the Sepedi, the Chitonga, and all those. Not everybody can speak, because there are different tribes. Like the way we are in our, like Ghana here, we can speak the Ewe, the Asante, the Fanti, yeah, the Gan, like a lot of languages. When you come to Ewe clan, there are a lot of different languages that people speak. So we can say like, you don't speak my language? Nah, that's absolutely crazy. But guys, that's just very. What do you think about that? Whatever you think, just let me know in the comment section. Thank you for watching this show.